Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Bull City Hangout 9-2. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter. That's Durham's online community paper. Check it out at 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟 𝗪 if you don't mind. And also, please note that it is production week where you will see August information change over to September throughout the next few days. So send me your info to 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟@gmail.com or just find me, via, Twitter, Durham Skywriter, Messenger, whatever. Okay, so with Bull City Hangout, I tell you what's happening today in Durham and then invite you to click on that link on the Facebook side, join me on camera, shoot the breeze, share information, etc. So I'm just going to start out with the word page, the nonprofit and government information page, always starting out by letting you know that there are city and county programs that are in place to help you, and you could read about them right there on the word page. Also, attention artists. The deadline is tomorrow for the Durham Arts Council's Artist Support Grant, which has been developed to help artists who, opportunities have dried up for a lot of artists due to COVID. So what the Durham Arts Council has done is to put together a grant program. So you sign up for, let me tell you, when I say artists, let me tell you what we're talking about. Excuse me. So the artists, we're talking about people who do dance, film and video, literature, photography, mixed media, prints, drawing, painting, music, multidiscipline. Did I say literature? I think I did. Film and video, all of that. So sign up. Go ahead and put in your application. It's kind of competitive because it's not just for us here in Durham County, but also they cover artists also in Alamance, Orange, and Person counties. So the deadline, again, is tomorrow. So click on the link, go to the word page, scroll down to Durham Arts Council, go to the website, click on the link that I've provided, read about it, and see if you can get in an application real quick. Because, again, these are going to fund like artist development, some programming, whatever you have in mind. So just check that out and let me know if you get the grant, because that would be awesome. I'd love to have you come on the show and talk about it. Yes, so good luck. All righty, let's see. Oh, the libraries are all open, including Bragtown, until 6 this evening. A really great way. 6. It's strange because yesterday was 8. Anyway, that's why I do this every day. It's hard to keep track of when the libraries are open. That is why I mention when they're open. So today they're open till 6. There you go, including Bragtown. Now, the Durham, almost said Durham Arts Council. Durham Technical Community College has the Small Business Center. Of course, every day I like to tell you about the day's workshops. Now, I don't list all of the workshops because there are so many being offered. I am taking into consideration not just the Durham workshops, but also workshops from across the state. There are small business centers probably in all of the counties, or at least most of them. So I just pick and choose a few that sound interesting and all that happen after noon, because the show is at noon. So I naturally don't list the morning ones. Okay. So let's see. Today is what? The 2nd. So let's see what's on the docket for today. Okay, so from 6 until 7, reach customers online with Google. And Guy, our cook, is waiting in the wings. He's really, really getting into Google, learning about all that they have to offer. So you might want to check this out. Reach customers online with Google. That is tonight from 6 until 7. Did I mention these are free? You can just sign up in advance and just attend. Okay. Also tonight from 6 until 8, the nonprofit series presents Managing a Nonprofit. And then from 6 until 8, Marketing Your Small Business. These are also very useful. Okay, let's now go to the health page very quickly. And I mention this every day. I'm just going to point out, I've got your COVID-19 test and vaccine updates, the different places you can get vaccinated, including the county, talking about public health. We're on weekdays. Stroll in and get vaccinated. That easy. The Lincoln Community Health Center. Same thing on Fayetteville Street. Stroll in, get vaccinated. No problem. Read about it on the health page. All right. Let's see what else is on the health page. Oh, there's going to be a blood drive today. Let me scroll down to the blood connection. The blood connection has a blood drive, I think tomorrow, which is correct. So from 10:30 a.m. tomorrow until 2, there's going to be a blood drive at Hendrick South Point, which is on Kentington Drive. That starts tomorrow at 10:30. Okay, and now let's go to the legal page, legalese. I think I have one announcement. Yeah, Legal Aid NC, they have not let us down. They have these great free workshops, wide-ranging topics. So today they're having a workshop, and let me scroll down to it and tell you what it is. Social Security Disability Clinic. That's going to start at 2:30 this afternoon. This is where you can learn about the application process and learn how to prove that you're entitled to benefits. So you can attend by watching from their Facebook page. I think you can also sign up and ask actual questions if you're on Zoom. They also look at the comments on Facebook, so you can watch from Facebook as well. Also find out the different ways that Legal Aid NC can help you. So there you go. So read about that. Now let's go to the Let's Go page. Oh, one more thing. Right, tomorrow's Friday. Okay, so Legal Aid NC every Friday, let me find it. It's Free Forum Friday, every Friday, 11 until noon. This is where they talk about just a whole bunch of different things, whatever you want to talk about. Sometimes they have topics that they want to bring to you, but basically this is a good place to get legal information and to ask questions of a general nature, and it's just really, really interesting. So it's free, of course, and it starts at 11. Okay, now let's go to the Let's Go page, the calendar of events page, and scroll down to September 2nd and see what's on the calendar. Okay, as you know, if you've been reading like Facebook and you've heard about on Twitter and whatnot, a lot of the kids are getting home a little later, kids being the students from school. So Durham Public Schools, they're not ashamed to admit, they need bus drivers. So they're hiring right now for bus drivers. And you can go to the school tools page for that article and ways that you can go ahead and learn about getting your CDL, commercial driver's license. There's paid training. If you don't have a CDL, which you must have to drive a bus, I think they'll pay for it. They'll give you the training, they'll pay for it, make sure you have it, and then they'll hire you to be a bus driver. So check into that. Now, the Durham Public Schools also had a job fair today from 10 until noon. You're probably wondering, why is she mentioning that? Because it's over. Here's why. So they're looking again for bus drivers. They're also trying to hire some bus monitors, also custodians, part-time and full-time, and also people to work with child nutrition services. Even though the official job fair is over, it was at NC Works on Briggs. Here's the thing. I have a note here, and check it out. This is on the School Tools page and the Let's Go page. If you could not attend, that's okay, because some people already are working part-time, or maybe at the last minute you couldn't get some child care or whatever. So here's the thing. Contact Risa Foster. I have her phone number. I have her email address. So for those who could not attend and apply for any of these jobs, they can contact Risa Foster and see what can be done to get you hired by Durham Public Schools if you qualify. So there you go. All right. Now, New Visions of Africa restaurant, they'll be distributing free meals to people in need at their shop, which is on Fayetteville Street next door. I said shop, restaurant, right next door to W.D. Hill on Fayetteville. So this is between 3 and 6. Also, NC Raise Up, they're holding their online mass meeting. That's going to be this evening from 6 until 7. This is for low wage and essential workers. These are the people who are fighting for the $15 an hour minimum wage. You might want to check them out and hook up with them. So again, the meeting is online starting at 6. Also, Durham Community Engagement, they're hosting Anatomy of a Variant, a community conversation on the effects of COVID-19 variant in our community. That's going to be an online event. It's going to be held at 6 o'clock. Now, Durham Community Engagement, you might not be aware of that. They are a division of the city's Neighborhood Improvement Services Department. So this is going to be online, and it starts at 6. And I'm sure they'll be able to answer. There's a lot of questions out there, a lot of misinformation. I'm sure they'll straighten us out at this meeting. It starts at 6, so check it out. Also, the city of Durham and Durham County together, they have hashtag Engage Durham. They are having a virtual meeting tonight from 6 until 7:30. And this is where they are inviting residents of Southeast Durham, like Sharon, I hope I said that right, Sharon Road, Way Southeast. So they're inviting people who live in Southeast Durham to learn about the Southeast Durham Focus Area Recommendations. My voice cracked. Recommendations. This is all about development in the area. I know a lot of people are very curious as to what's going on with the building of houses, what's going to happen with resources, et cetera, et cetera. So go to the website. I have the link there. Get your questions together because they will be answering questions. So check out the plan. So go to the website and see what they're talking about first. Formulate your questions and then go to the meeting and they will answer your question or questions. This is going to be a Zoom event from 6 to 7:30. Read about it on the Let's Go page. Also, the 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗟 Heritage Center, they're hosting, this is an in-person event, by the way, an artist reception for Craig Cutright and Whitney Stanley. These are two artists. They were commissioned to do works. They were commissioned by the Fayetteville Street Fellows Project. This art exhibit is curated by Gail Belvid. So this should be really nice. An artist reception tonight from 6 until 8. And violinist David Scott will provide the musical entertainment. This is a free event, and they do say this is an indoor event in person. Definitely have your face mask with you. All right. Don't Waste Durham is having their Reducing Waste in Durham Public Schools meeting. This is going to be an online meeting from 6:30 until 7:30. So share your ideas on ways to improve trash management and recycling in the schools. Now the school's back in session. Very important. That's a Zoom meeting, by the way. Willie's Big Blues Jam at the House Restaurant. That's going to be today from 6:30 until 10. Lots of fun. Free admission. Dancing's encouraged. It's going to be really fun. Musicians can hop on stage and join if you can play the blues, of course, and play the blues well, or at least well enough. So this sounds like a really fun night. So from 6:30 until 10 at the house, Willie's Big Blues Jam. Marla's Fun is having her online Stay Well virtual line dance class on Zoom. It's free. It's from 7 until 8. And learn all of those steps to all the latest line dances and the classic line dances. Last item, Shadowbox. At the Shadowbox, the bipeds will be presenting Shadowbox session number 8. I didn't hear about the first 7, but at least I can tell you about number 8. So this is at Shadowbox Studio from starting at 8 o'clock. And this is an in-person event where a diverse range of performers, we're talking about musicians and dancers. I think they're going to be like spontaneously creating a work of art. That should be really fun. A donation of $10 is suggested. You can read about it on the Let's Go page. I said that was the last one. Let me make sure. Oh, let's not forget this one. If you are in need, the Salvation Army of Durham has Free Food Friday. That's tomorrow, starting at 10:30. It's only for an hour, so be sure to get there. 10:30 to 11:30. And if you happen to have a strong bag or a rollaway cart, that would really help, because I don't know how much food or items they will give you, but you certainly don't want to just carry them in your hands. So if you can volunteer, they would love that. They usually give away canned goods, meats, drinks, snacks, hygiene items. Sometimes they even have pet food. So there you go. I think that's it. Let's check the weather. It feels a little humid, but it's not too bad. It's actually only 75 degrees, which to me is amazing. It's sunny. It's going up to 81. That's all. It's going to be sunny all day. It's like the perfect day. Tomorrow is going to be 81 and sunny. And I think Saturday is going to be perfect too for the barbecue festival at Mike D's. What is his motto? Throw some D's on it. Okay. So Saturday is going to be 84 and sunny. It's perfect. And by the way, I'll be DJing. So, okay. So it looks like Guy, our cook, is waiting in the wings. So let's see what's happening in Washington State. Let's bring him on.
Hi, Pat. Let me fix this. Good grief. Where did I go?
Hello.
And I don't know why.
Let me get my logo out of your way.
This is Texas size.
Where are you?
There.
There you go.
Let's see. I'll go this way. Okay. Hi.
How are you?
Elated. I'm working on web development technologies, and all the standard stuff, internet solutions. And the wife pops in and says, "Hey, you know what's happening online tomorrow?" I said, "No, I give up." "What?" "Jim Shore has signed an event." I said, "Jim Shore, that name sounds familiar." The guy that I got all the little statues and all my Santas are made by Jim Shore, the artist. Oh, that's got to be huge then. So it's the first virtual event that I know of that she's ever said, "Oh, we have to do this." I've got it even in the calendar.
Let me jump in here. Marvis is wondering where the barbecue is. Mike D, he has a new, and that's Mike De Los Santos. He has a new shop on Anger and Driver, which is a real up and coming area full of businesses now. They tried to promote that area because it was kind of becoming desolate. They're trying to promote it a couple of years ago, and boy, did it work, because so that's where it's going to be. It's going to be on Anger and Driver, actually on Driver, because I think his official address is 306 South Driver, I think it is. Yeah. So, and I think, you know what? Thanks for asking where it is, because I need to check to see if that big church on the corner, it's no longer a church, it's really the home now of nonprofits. I need to see if people can park there or where the parking is going to be. Yeah,
Good
so
to
let me
know.
look into that. Thank you, Marvis. But it's going to be on Anger and Driver from noon until 5 on Saturday. So Guy?
Yes.
I assume that the Northwest is not burning up anymore. I shouldn't say burning because there are fires.
Oh, no, we're having postcard weather.
I mean, in terms of degrees.
Yeah, it's 70s. Cool at night.
Oh, okay.
We're getting down into the not freezing, but coolish, like 40s at nighttime.
Okay. That sounds
so
typical for your area.
It's that way every year. August is hotter than whoopee, and then somebody flips the switch,
and all of a sudden it's fall,
and then it's cooling off a lot.
Oh, I suppose you have a beautiful display. Not yet, but with the trees turning colors, I suppose later this month or October. Must be really pretty in the Northwest.
You're thinking of New England.
No, it's beautiful down here too.
Yeah, but most of the trees are evergreens. They're like pines, Doug fir, hemlock.
Yeah, our state tree.
So we don't have the colorful leaves so much. I mean, there are some, but it's not like there's no bus tours going to see this beautiful fall foliage like there is in
Yeah.
New England or perhaps in Durham. And
Yeah, I'm just
that's
curious
just
because I think the North Carolina state tree is the longleaf pine, which
hmm
is an evergreen.
hmm
However, we have a really wide ranging, all kinds of trees. So we do have beautiful displays. We have a lot of maple trees and oaks. You know, oak leaves are always beautiful.
hmm
So, and you know, what else do we have? Magnolias and crepe myrtles. We have all kinds of trees, peach trees, and a lot of flowering trees. So we
yeah.
have a big pollen problem in the spring. I don't know about you, but our pollen problem is pretty wild. But then we have a lot of flowering trees. So, but anyway, the weather seems to be perfect now. There you go. That's
Hey,
much
now
better.
I'm running the Logitech
We were
webcam
suffering
controller.
from big face.
Yes,
So
multitasking we are.
there you
And
go.
the other thing I read this morning, you were mentioning about $15 an hour wage that are
Yeah.
having a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
There are
NC
several
raise up.
companies up here in the Northwest that are already doing the $15. And they said that Walgreens drugstores, I don't know if that change is happening down there, but
Oh
Walgreens
yeah.
has joined the paying $15 minimum wage camp.
You know what? I saw that. I saw
Yeah.
that because that's happening here too. I saw
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
There's like 4 or 5 companies is all they listed as who's participating. And
Mm-hmm.
bus drivers here in the neighborhood in Kennewick. No, wait a minute. No, it's not. I take that back. It's College Place, a little community adjacent to Walla Walla.
Mm-hmm.
They're desperate to the point of they're paying $500 bonuses for part-time bus drivers if
For
once they've
real.
completed 15 hours of fill-in bus driving, whether it's
Yeah.
morning, afternoon, evenings, whatever, once they've done their 15 hours and they're paying for the CDL license like you were mentioning,
Yeah.
but once they've completed the 15 hours, they're giving them $500 on top
Shoot.
of whatever I'm sure the wage is pretty darn good, but
Yeah. I'll say that
a
sounds
little bit
good.
of gravy on the potatoes. I'm not
Yeah.
suggesting that Durham needs to do that, but
Well,
just
people do what they got to do. Now, I do know that, well, Durham just had a big hospitality fair.
mhm.
And I have noticed that when you go to some of these fast food places, it's drive through only because they just don't have the staff to handle
Right. They can't
indoor
have a sit down.
service. So some people are saying, well, you have a shortage because you're not paying enough. And a lot of people, now I'm from Chicago, where some people are actually raising families on minimum wage. They're working. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
they're not doing well, but I mean, but it's
It's
sometimes
survival.
that's all you have because of
Yeah.
poverty. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's all you got. And I think it went to the company's head, and they always figure, well, we always got poor folks, so we'll always have a ready amount of people to staff
Yeah.
our establishments. And I think they're finding out people. I think it's the COVID making people reevaluate their lives. Even the
Yeah.
poor folks are rushing forward to get these jobs, which
Yeah.
is
They're
amazing.
ordering luggage and moving someplace where they're paying some wages.
So I don't
You know,
know.
why would they stay there and starve? That's ridiculous. But anyway,
It's crazy.
speaking of Chicago, you mentioned the
What
name
kind of
Chicago.
town besides Durham, of course.
Okay, there's also a band from the 70s called Chicago, right? At the
Oh my
Walla Walla
goodness.
County Fair,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
at the Walla Walla County Fair, you know how they always have a concert at the fair? They had Chicago in concert.
I love Chicago.
And they rocked the house. I'll have to
I'm sure
send
they
you
did. Sure.
my ex-wife's sister took a video and captured them singing 250624
Oh yeah,
and they were
25.
rocking the house. Yeah.
That's. I remember when they first started. I don't know if you. This is probably common knowledge, but their
Mm.
first album, when they first came out, they were known as the Chicago Transit Authority.
Yeah, CTA.
Yeah, but of course, the real Chicago Transit Authority said you can't call yourself that. That's what we
Yeah,
are,
copyright
the
infringement.
bus
Right,
company.
right.
So,
Yeah.
and Marvis went to the hospitality fair, and I'm surprised. But you know what? I'm not going to say they didn't market it well, but
It's
I don't know.
face to
I
face
mean,
isn't
I
happening.
saw it, but I wonder if they were really getting the word out to the people who needed to know about the job fair.
Well, remember when you talked about
I don't
Zoom a
know.
while ago? There were several events that are going to be virtual Zoom events.
Sure.
This last quarter, Zoom software had its biggest profit margin, over $1 billion,
I'm not
biggest
surprised.
ever. And so then the conversation was, well, is Zoom going to go away? You know, had they had their big moment and now it's going to die down? And everybody was commenting and saying, no, it's only going to get bigger because people don't want to go back to the office. They would
Yeah, they
rather,
just added some new feature. I don't remember what it is, but I do
Mhm.
remember noting that they added some big feature this week.
Yeah,
I don't
and
really go on Zoom that much unless I have to, so I
yeah,
didn't pay any attention to the
I use
announcement.
whereby.com. I'm a
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
yeah. There
Yeah, whereby's
there's
pretty
a
good.
number of different softwares. I'm going to close the webcam controller just so I don't click on that. And as long as we're doing shout outs, you know how we always
Mhm.
talk about music and you're going to DJ different places. Well, there's a fellow that I know the name of. I know him from years on Blab, and then
Mhm.
he's a web developer too. And I'm putting
Mhm.
the link in chat. He set
Okay.
up
Oh,
ScottishIslandRadio.com.
okay. You want me to put this in the notes,
Sure, sure.
in the comments? I meant.
Um,
Okay, let
Kevin
me copy
Scullion's the
that.
guy's name. It's ad free, and it's just because no other
Let's see.
reason
So,
than he's just doing it. Um, you can see the tail of his dog Skid.
okay, Scottish Island Radio.
Right.
Okay, so I just
So
put that in the notes.
you know how when you sometimes you're on hold waiting for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
and besides playing some video game, stupid game, time waster online,
Mm-hmm.
well, instead of that, you can listen to Scottish Island Radio.
Okay. You know what I like?
Mm.
I like when you go to the gas station nowadays, and when you're putting the gas in the car, there's
Hmm.
like a TV show going on with
Oh
the.
yeah, yeah, the little video
I like
screen.
that. I wish I could get into that and have them know about the Durham Skywriter.
Mm.
Because what's funny is that these stories are often too long, or maybe I don't pay for enough gas. But anyway, it,
Have you seen the speaking of gas? Not to
hmm,
mean to interrupt you, but have you seen on TV the gas lines in Louisiana? They go
no.
on for blocks and blocks and blocks because they've got no power. So the
Oh, they
few
sure
guys that
don't.
have the ability to pump gas are jammed. They're
Oh
just
my gosh.
to
Yeah,
infinity
I
and
do
beyond.
know. Yeah, it's going to take weeks, they said, and some people are
Yes.
trying to run their generators.
Oh yeah.
So,
Because can you imagine triple digit temperatures in the humid environment in Louisiana with no AC? So you go outside to cool off
no
and
way to
you
cook your
fight
food.
and you got to fight the mosquitoes, alligators. They said the alligators
Man,
have been
I
misplaced
hope they're
by
not in the
the flooding.
streets.
Yeah, yeah, they're going everywhere. Oh,
Man.
it's
I'll tell you what
nasty.
they did at J.J. Henderson Tower, though.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. Henderson Tower is a senior building here in Durham,
Yeah,
and their electricity went out because of a storm.
right.
And of course, you're worried. You got food in the refrigerator. I can't cook.
Sure.
What are we going to do? What they did, they put all their food together, and this guy busted out his barbecue grill, and he got to work. So he
Mm-hmm.
grilled up all the meat,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody shared.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to eat
Did
that evening,
did
and
Durham?
that was really nice.
Did you have much rain from the storm when Ida came through,
I
or
was really
did it miss you?
surprised. We had a lot of rain forecasted,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't get that much rain.
I guess New York got slammed with
Oh, they
rain.
sure did.
Yeah,
They sure
not good.
did. We got some rain, but not an awful lot.
The
So, and I
the
was
little
really
bit of
surprised.
history I've got with studying these hurricanes, I was surprised how long Ida maintained its status as a a number 4 strength, whatever they call it,
Yeah.
after it made landfall. Usually when they hit land, they start
It
winding
slows
down.
down. Yeah.
You know, they're a big line in the jungle when they're out in the ocean.
Mhm.
When they hit the shore, they're gone.
Mhm.
Ida was not that way. Ida
Yeah.
lasted for hours. With
Yeah.
I've been in, I think the biggest windstorm, the Columbus Day windstorm that hit the coast of Washington State back
Mhm.
in the 60s. I was in 5th grade. Okay. That many
Okay.
years ago. And that windstorm, I remember we walked to school, and as we walked to school, I saw one garage that one whole wall was blown out, and the roof was leaning down, touching the ground.
Why
And
were you
that's
going to school in a hurricane?
no, not in. This was after it was over, the
Oh, okay.
aftermath.
I'm about to say. Okay.
Oh, and then and the other thing is,
Mhm.
I guess the wind came up, and when you have those storms, there's like aftershocks in an earthquake. There's
Yeah.
afterblows in the windstorm.
Tornadoes too.
The teacher let us go out for recess.
Mm.
Well, you could kick the kickball, and the wind would catch it, and it would go clear across the playground, which is
Wow.
like hundreds of yards.
Wow.
And it was like having superpowers. I'll never forget. I was in the fall, and I grabbed the bottom corners of my coat,
Mhm.
held it down at the bottom like a sail,
Mhm.
and I could lean back into the wind and not fall over. The wind
Actually,
was
Guy,
going hot enough. Yeah.
actually, it's so windy in Chicago
Oh
that in the
yeah.
winter, when you're walking to the bus stop or whatever, you
Mhm.
can walk at a 45-degree angle walking backwards. It's not a strange, it might be a strange sight nowadays, but when I was a kid, that was very typical to walk backwards against the wind. And you
Mhm.
could actually lean back at like 45 degrees and
Oh
not
yeah.
fall.
They don't call it the
I might
Windy
be
City because
exaggerating
they
a
can't think
little,
up
but
a name. Like I guess New York is the Big Apple, but Chicago is the Windy City. I think
although
I think that Kennewick
Chicago's
might
not
be a
even in the
cousin.
top 10.
Ah,
Chicago's not in the top 10 windiest cities. It's just
ah,
the reputation. But
just the name it got. Ah,
yeah.
oh
But
well.
one thing about Chicago, though, the wind going between the buildings downtown,
Mhm.
creating wind tunnels, those are probably a lot more powerful than the winds that might be going across the plains.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure about that, but yeah, I've
Because
heard
the
some
buildings
stories.
make for a vortex, they probably would
Yeah, so if you're
increase
so if
the
you're
wind.
on Jackson, like where the what's it called? I'm just gonna say Sears Tower.
Mhm.
Wherever. So if you're going down
I think
Jackson,
it's called the Sears Tower. But anyway, yeah.
no, it's called the Willis.
I've never known it by any other name than the Sears
Oh yeah,
Tower.
they
I'm
changed the
sorry.
name. It's the
Oh,
Willis something, but everybody says Sears Tower. But anyway,
yeah, yeah.
so if you're on Jackson or sometimes Adams or whatever, that wind that goes past the Sears Tower and it's kind of just like focused because of the skyscrapers can
Mhm,
literally blow you off of your feet.
mhm.
Literally. And
There's
it has
there's a
happened a lot.
lady
You see
that
people being blown about.
you've heard of Liverpool, England. Okay.
Sure.
Well, years ago when I was doing web development, I was chatting with a lady from Liverpool, and she's
Hmm.
been to America, and her favorite place to go is Chicago, to
Of
be on
course.
the beach in Chicago. She thought that was like the best. I said,
Hmm.
a lot of people say the beach in Miami is pretty cool. Nope, nope. It can't be better than Chicago.
Well,
And
how
I'm going,
about that?
does Chicago have sandy beaches on the shores of the lake? I don't know if
Heck
I've never
yeah.
been there. It's sandy.
Yeah.
Did they
Yeah.
have to haul the sand in?
No, it's
Oh,
God put it there. It's
okay.
there.
Okay.
Or whoever.
I mean the
God,
beach where I lived in Kitsap,
nature.
it was
No, you got
rock.
the seashells and the little rocks and all that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. There were
But
little
here's the
round rocks
thing.
in our beach.
What I like about the Chicago beaches as compared to all the other beaches
Hmm.
is that the city's founding fathers, not the original
Yeah.
founder of Chicago, but the ones who came, the industrial guys like
Right.
Montgomery Ward and Marshall Field and those guys, or whatever their names were. I know Marshall Field was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, those big shots. They made some kind of pact. It's like law or whatever, that the lakefront will always belong to the people. So when you go to like Rio de Janeiro and
Oh,
Brazil
it's
and
not
stuff, you
like
see,
public and private. It's all public.
because like when you're in Rio, you see all these hotels and
And it's
all these
only
things
for
on the
hotel
beach.
guests that can be on this part of
Yeah,
the beach. Yeah.
the whole, you can go from the steel mill to whatever. I don't know
Yeah.
what happens once you reach the tippy
Yeah.
northern
From
top of
one end to the
Chicago.
other.
I have
Yeah.
no idea if the earth ends there or not, but you can go from the steel mill to, I'll say Evanston, which is like a
Okay.
suburb of Chicago. If you have the stamina, you can ride along the lake. I think it's about 10 miles
Well, you get
or
one of
something
those
like that.
electric bikes.
But you can go all the way from one to the other without worrying about private property or anything. The lakefront will always belong to the people. I love that about Chicago.
My wife's youngest
And if
older
anybody else
brother.
wants to join us, by the way,
Yeah.
I will post the link. Let me
Come on
find the
down.
link.
We're just
Yeah, because
chatting.
I can accommodate 10 folks. So let me copy the clipboard. Let's see. Join us. Oh boy, I can't spell the word join. Isn't that sad?
Well,
Join
it is a
us
4-letter word.
on
It's kind of.
camera. Boom. There you go. So if you'd like to join us, you can do so.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we have cute little beaches here in Durham because we have Lake Mickey, we have Jordan Lake, and we
Mm-hmm.
also have some smaller lakes. And the beaches are just adorable.
Now, are the
They're
lakes
really,
there surrounded by houses like they were on the coast?
no, actually,
I only know
Jordan
one
Lake,
lake in Washington State that's not ringed with houses.
no, because Jordan Lake is a man-made lake which
Mm-hmm.
was created by the U.S. Corps of Army Engineers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wasn't here when they did that. So it's really interesting and it's really nice. You can, hike through the area and they
Right.
have like these little observation decks. It's really nice. Lake Mickey, I don't know the history of Lake Mickey. Jordan Lake is south. I live south.
Mm-hmm.
Lake Mickey is north.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only been to Lake Mickey maybe twice.
Well, you
And
have
it's
to win the
really nice.
lottery.
It's really nice. And
Are they
they
still
don't have
doing that?
no, they don't have the lottery system
No,
anymore. Everything's
don't
open.
worry.
But yeah, Lake Mickey's nice because they have this building that you can go through, and then you access the lake, and it's like this big, like this outdoor deck with chairs and stuff, and people are there fishing with the nets and the what
Mm-hmm.
do you call it, with the reels and the yeah, it's really nice. It's really, both are nice. And then we have smaller lakes like Falls Lake where you can go, swimming and stuff, and the beaches are really little and they're really cute and fun.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a
When I
far cry
mentioned
from Lake Michigan, but it's still very nice.
riding down the beach in Chicago,
Hmm.
from the steel mill on to Evanston, I said, "Well, you need to get one of those electric bikes." So I see them all the time on the internet. Buy
Hmm.
this electric bike, and they're like $1,500 and up,
And it
big
costs a lot.
money,
Yeah.
and for a bicycle, right? So I'm
Hmm.
thinking, I'll never get one of those. Well, time marched on, and my
Hmm.
my lovely wife, Darlene's youngest older brother, John, who's a
Hmm.
retired logger, keep that in mind,
Cool.
bought an electric bike
Okay.
because he wants to make less carbon footprint. So when he's going to just
Good
zip
for
over
him.
to the store and
Good
get
for
a
him.
gallon of milk, he'll just ride the bike.
Nice.
He said, the first time he rode it, it was so funny. He says, I never realized it was so fast. What do you mean?
Oh, really?
Well, I was pedaling out the street and I said, well, I better find out how to engage the electric part of this. And so he flipped
Hmm.
on the electric switch on low, took off like a rocket. Just
Nice.
zoom. It was like riding a Harley. It was just too much.
Cool.
So every time we've gone down there now, I've yet to see the bicycle outside. like
Mhm.
sitting on the patio, like he'd just ridden it someplace. It's
Mhm.
in the house, and he's got a phone book under the kickstand so he doesn't poke a hole in the carpet. I
Did it
said,
scare him?
I don't know. I don't want to say he got scared, but he's distant from riding it, I think. I don't
I
think
think he just needs to get his courage back. Now there's a place. There is a. I guess it's a chain, Pettico. We
Mhm.
have one here in Durham. I hope I said it right. P-E-D-E. No, P-E-D-E-C-O. I think it is Pettico. But look it up. It's an electrical bike company,
Uh-huh.
and the bikes are. They have all different. Uh, you know, they all look kind of bulky to me, and none of them look like the skinny little racers. They look
Yeah, they got the big
substantial.
fat tires on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
And
his.
what they do, they give you, I don't know, oh, when they had their grand openings, put it that way, they gave away these postcards. And if you
Mhm.
came back with a postcard, you could rent a bike for free and take it for a spin and keep it for a couple of hours.
Well, there you go.
So, and I'm thinking in order to spur sales, I would bet if you called them and asked about that, they probably say, oh, sure, come and take it for a test ride. And then
Mhm.
you'll know what you're getting and they'll teach you,
Yeah.
because they don't want to lose their customers or
No.
prospective customers,
No.
So check it out if it's in your area because I think you and Darlene, that might be really cute
Well, she
for us
wants
to
to
do
get a
together.
three-wheeler. She wants to get a tricycle. And
That's
you know
cool.
why? Because we're so old. She's worried about us losing our balance. I'm
Hmm.
going, yeah, I could see that happening. I
I
also
wonder if
could see,
Pettico has three-wheelers. They might.
yeah, I would check into that. That's what
Yeah.
I'm more leaning towards having a tricycle because we got three
Mhm.
little dogs. Well, Chewy's not so little, but he's
Put them in the
smaller.
basket.
Yeah, put him in the basket in the back. That's what, when mom was alive, she would take Joy and put her in a basket on her
That
walker.
is so
She had one
cute.
of those walkers to help you stand up, and
Yeah.
she would take Joy with her. Her walk. This is when I lived down the street from her. She'd call me and
Mhm.
say, "Let's go for a walk." And so I'd walk up to her house, and we'd walk 6 houses up the street and six back.
Mhm.
And
Aw,
Joy would ride in the basket.
that's so cute.
Yeah,
Now, Kennewick, is that a sizable city, or would you have to
yeah,
go
yeah.
to a
Big.
bigger city for something like
No,
that?
it's big. We got Walmart, McDonald's, everything
Oh,
kind of store you can think of,
okay.
and some you probably haven't thought of, but don't.
Yeah. Well, check it out because I love my electric scooter. I have to say, I love it. Is exhilarating
Have you
to ride
dusted
that
the
ride.
cobwebs off of that electric scooter?
Yeah, I actually sometimes
Oh,
put it in the trunk of the car,
yeah.
and then I go downtown or whatever and
I've
park
never
the
heard
car.
about it being out of the trunk of the car.
Oh yeah, I put it in the
Okay.
trunk, and then I go to the senior center
Yeah.
and park there and run inside and then I leave it there and hit up a couple of my advertisers. They don't mind
Now,
that
does your
on my
senior
scooter.
center there in Durham, do they have lunches inside, or are they still
They
just?
do now.
Oh, they do now. Okay,
They do
because the
now.
one
Hmm.
the one in Walla Walla, when we lived over there, you had to just drive up, and they handed you a meal in a box,
They did that.
styrofoam boxes, and that went on 5 days a week.
Yeah. They were doing that at our senior center too. But just last month they had the grand opening and I got to DJ for the grand opening. That was really fun.
Oh,
So now they are allowing people to come in and to eat, right there in person.
now when you DJ at the senior center, what playlist did you work from? Because you can't use the modern stuff, right?
Oh, I play whatever I want, but I'm 65, so I have all the
Right.
Motown hits.
Oh, okay.
Uh
So
I
you
got
play music from the '60s.
actually they respond better to the 80s
Oh, really?
because just think about it, the most mobile older people will be the younger
Uh-huh.
older people.
Okay.
So the 80s plus the dance hits of the 80s were more, better bass.
Yep.
Because when I played the Beatles, and when I played the Beach Boys, and 60s,
Right. I was there.
there's not a lot of bass. Now there are some songs I have found some 60s songs that have remixes where they have added more bass. And
Okay.
that's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the 70s and 80s dance, because it was a dance party. So they responded. Of course, you got to play "Shotgun" by Junior
Have you
Walker and the All Stars, which is
have
a
you seen
'60s
that?
hit,
Have you
and they
seen
love
that
that.
video where the guys went in, or the girls? I don't know who put it together, but they had one of those Velociraptor suits, those big inflatable ones, right?
Okay,
And they went in
okay,
the senior center and they started playing rock and roll music. And these people were sitting in their wheelchairs,
that's
just
cute.
jamming with the
Mm-hmm.
dinosaur. It was so hilarious. And then
Wow.
it showed some of the caregivers, the nurse assistants or whatever they
Mm-hmm.
were
Mm-hmm.
dancing. Oh gosh, it was so funny. It's on Facebook. Just look for Senior Center
I'll check it
dancing with
out.
the dinosaur. Yeah, it was funny.
I'll check it out. When I used to volunteer on Friday afternoons at the senior center, it was cute because they bring out the clients from adult daycare, which were usually people with dementia or whatever, and some of them were pretty out of it, but they enjoyed the music, and it was just cute to see the
Oh yeah,
caregivers
don't
try to.
ask them what your name is, and you're okay. But if you're just playing a song that they recognize, they're gonna
And it's just
jam
cute. It's
away.
just
Yeah.
cute. Yeah. And a lot of times I'll play the older songs for them because those are the older people. So I mean I
Yes.
have dance music from the 1920s on up.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I can
Yeah.
play
Well,
your
I can.
big band stuff. I got all that.
Oh, motion detector went off. Somebody's at the
Uh-oh.
door. Can you hear them?
I can hear all of your dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I need to have a sign painted that says, "There's no need to knock. We know you're here."
Oh, you should do that.
Yeah. Anyway, have a good one.
Okay, guy. See ya.
Say bye.
Okay. Fun as always. So that is pretty much it. Let's see what the temperature is, and I'll let you go. And be sure to share this out, by the way, if you don't mind, so that more Durhamites can know what's happening, especially about the job fair information. So let's see. It went up to 79. It was 75 a while ago, so it's 79, going up to 81. It's going to be sunny all day, and then tomorrow it's going up to 81, and again it will be sunny all day. With that, have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow at noon for Bull City Hangout. Ciao for now.